Undefeated.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Undefeated podcast.
The only podcast with two undefeated fighters, fam.
Chatting it up. Let's go, bruv.
Yeah, brother. Listen, first things first, I'm home. I'm back.
Welcome back, bro.
I'm back, bro. It's important. Do you know what I mean? Like, off the flight, straight to work. You already know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm glad to be here. You know, them flights. You got to start clapping when flights land now, you know?
Brother.
Turbulence,
now I respect it.
Turbulence, bro. I've got a new respect for turbulence, bro. Like before, it's like, because you think, turbulence is part of the flight, but you're like, what kind of, you have to grade turbulence, even though you're not like a pilot. You gotta be like, hey, this is lasting still.
Is that a 2.5? That's not a 2.5, is that? Was that?
Bro, you're on the plane just trying to consider everything. So yeah. But yeah, I'm glad to be home. And yeah, let's time to get to work because boxing, the world of boxing never stops. It just keeps moving.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you want to start, bro? Because there's so many places we can go with this one.
I think, you know what, let's get to Dillian.
Go with Dillian.
Because this is a very interesting dynamic that we're watching here. I've been going back and forth. I'm in a couple of boxing groups and I'm in there I'm standing on my square and I'm just like, bro, Dillian is not going to beat this kid. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't see it, bro. Like, there's a lot of different opinions where people are like, you lot are like, Atoma's untested. We don't know if he can crack. We don't know if he can take one. We don't know these things. And I'm thinking, yes, that's true. But we can know what we're looking at in terms of a future star and say that the timing of this fight is more of a precursor to how it's going to play out than we're not talking prime Dillian here. Do you understand? We're not looking at prime Dillian. Those last two outings, bro, have left me feeling incredibly uncomfortable about his status right now.
Against Unks. No, do you know what? So I would love to agree with you, but then in the last few days, or let's say week a bit, at least a week, I've given Dillian a higher percentage of success than I had before. I had it really low, like between 25 to 30% win rating for Dillian Whyte. Now I'm up to 45. Now, and that's crazy on the basis of, well, again, those statements are real statements. One, as Leonard Ellaby always told us, you can't say no chance. There's in heavyweight boxing, it's one of the divisions where one big punch, something that he didn't think about, didn't know about. And then after I used the Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher as a precursor when he talked about experience, not going the rounds, wanting to impress, wanting to put on a show, wanting to send a message to the division that I'm here now. I think that can take a fighter off their pivot. We saw it a lot with Garcia versus Haney. Haney trying to put on again, if they're doing something, Ben Whitaker, there's so many to say a few where this result shouldn't happen, but it happened because it was they thought that the strategy was wrong, you know. And if we haven't seen him take one of those hooks that Dillian does throw, and the wounded lion, he feels disrespected. And remember, before we always used to say the words of Dillian doesn't sell fights anymore. He stopped doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if he became comfortable, disillusioned, or jaded. I don't know what it was.
I think he got a bit older.
Now he's talking. I would say the last point I'm going to make on it is now he's talking like we haven't heard him talk in a very long time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it's that, you know, I think my reason how I assessed him not talking the same smoky way was just getting older. Just the maturity of, because there's that thing, it's like with rappers, that hungry rapper on the way up. He's at his coldest when he's on the way up. When he gets to the bread, it's still the skills are there, but the hunger is gone. Yeah. And I think where Dillian he's moved around a little bit, that run of Dillian Whyte's prime of, they're not giving me my title shot.
Yeah.
500 days, 600 days, 700 days, and I'm fighting this guy to stay busy. I don't care. I just want war. That era was Dillian's peak as far as when it was all together.
Chasing AJ, I think, was a lovely barometer for him as well, because he did want to be the main guy. Carry on.
Yeah, and he was in the position to say no to the AJ fight in Madison. Why are we doing it? I'm not taking it like this. I want this fight properly because I'm clearly doing my thing. Yeah. Then we go forward, the Fury knockout, the Povetkin knockout, and then it's like it hasn't picked up since then. Do you know what I mean? It's like the time. It seems like when he went to Portugal and just was out there, something disconnected. Do you know what I mean? And he's a fighter that I never felt like was a complete puzzle anyway. There was always gaps in his style. It's just the balance. There's always looked a little bit like, bro, you look like you could fall over throwing some of the shots you throw at all times. Do you know what I mean? There's just something about the way his body composition is set up. So it always made me I could never give a full rating on Dillian's boxing. But it's that thing of now we're older, and the two fights I've seen since the comeback, I'm like, it's actually looking worse. It's definitely age. It's not looking like it's coming back together, is what I want to say, not worse. Like that Tete fight.
Well, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because
And the Franklin one, sorry.
This is it. So when you talk about the journey of Dillian, we have to go into the trainers. So we had the AJ time, then we was with Mark Tibbs. Now I don't know how much Mark was asking for, but then it like I would say his most progression and how good he was becoming, because remember he's got a kickboxing background and this, that, and the other, like MMA, whatever. And you could see that it was a man that didn't take the diet, the conditioning. That knockout from AJ was one of the best things that could have happened to him, because he decided to get himself together, because he saw how dangerous he could have been to AJ. But then it's like, I haven't done everything I need to do. Now, making all the steps, Mark Tibbs, I would say, was doing great work with him.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it, I don't know.
Xavier. Was it?
Exactly. Xavier is the one, and that's the Portugal stuff. I'm in Portugal training camps in Portugal. I'm there. I'll turn up close to the fight. But then I didn't think he was getting anything good from Xavier. And I remember they wanted to talk to me, remember? Because they was like, I was quite
vocal about the lack of.
Yeah, I said, well, he's gone. I thought he went backwards.
He had. And what thing is, what he did add was the jab. The jab that he had in the Povetkin fight was probably the best jab work we've ever seen from Dillian.
Yes, but then it's not enough. It's that was the thing. Like they spent a lot of time on the fitness part, but then some of the boxing fundamentals was never developed. You know, like that they was talking about. I remember doing types of training where he's doing the, when he's like, is it one weight when it just goes up into the. There was a lot of this aerobic weight training, but the skill. His thing was, okay, how do we deal with certain things, especially when they realize we're susceptible to the uppercut, and everyone started looking for that shot. Well, what are we gonna do to set a trap where someone thinks they can throw that one and we have a reaction? One of the greatest things I've ever heard of is in Hayes' corner, when he's talking about they knew that he had this little chin kind of issue, that he could get knocked out. So they started doing the somersaults.
Yeah, getting dizzy and then sparring.
Yeah. That's someone that says, okay, this is our weakness. How can I turn our weakness into a strength, or we know what to do when these things happen? And for Dillian, we never saw that progression. And now he's with Buddy McGurk. But there's little things, and I know hopefully he's lying, but Dillian's trainer saying that Buddy McGurk saying he's never watched Moses Atoma box before is absolutely insane.
I always take trainers who say stuff like that with a pinch of salt. Do you know what I mean? It's like Floyd used to say, I don't watch fighters. No one watches fighters. And then guys in the camp would be like, yeah, obviously we're watching. Do you know what I mean? But it's like nobody goes in blind. I don't care who you are. Yeah. So now that's like with that Xavier Miller, I just think anytime, as soon as he left Tibbs, it got crazy. That's literally the turning point of his career. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the relationship was. It seemed like a very abrupt affair as well. I remember Tibbs was like, Yeah, it's by email. They just so I don't know what the situation was, but that is the moment that things change, because now it's like I look at Dillian and I think to myself, that Jermaine Franklin fight, in my opinion, he lost. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously, I think Jermaine Franklin is probably better than we thought. Do you know what I mean? I think, you know, his performance against AJ was pretty decent. I think he is a tricky opponent. I think it's a shame that we haven't seen him out since. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think with where Dillian is now, it's age on top of that. It's inactivity on top of that.
That's it.
And
Uncle inactivity. What do you call it? Uncle inactivity.
That's
Remember,
right.
he says all the time, like them. That's something that we have to really consider. The inactivity is what's hurt him in so many, because he's had a stop-start career.
Yeah.
You know, we've had the stuff with the samples and this, that, and the other. Even though it wasn't his fault, but his career slowed down at so many points. And this is, but then why I think you have to consider him is he is the wounded lion that has been written off by the boxing fraternity. And that is something, he's been written off by the boxing fraternity. Everyone feels like he's going to be killed in there. And a little part of him, I was likening it to, on Monday Night Smoke, I likened it to the Smith fight with Watsy, where he was offended. Absolutely. He was like, okay, I shouldn't be in this fight anyway, because why does this guy think he's ready for me? I'm better than this guy. And I could imagine Dillian saying to himself, because he says that line about being the wolf. While I'm a wolf, I still got teeth. I still got teeth. I can still hurt you. And that's what Atoma has to be careful, because I see the road. I was thinking, okay, if it does happen, if he does manage to somehow get the W, his next fight is he has to have his eyes on Chisora Trilogy for the vacant, if a title becomes vacant. One of them could be champion, because like on the show there was like, he'll pick AJ, and I goes, there's no chance he'll pick AJ, because he would just go for the AJ fight now. He wouldn't risk it against Atoma. What is the point? This is high, like the risk is so high, and I won't say there's major reward. If he gets knocked out in 2 rounds, it's over. His career is done. His career is like,
that's a goodbye from the sport.
There's no point for AJ to say I've always wanted to fight him. It just doesn't. It doesn't serve AJ. It doesn't serve anyone. So that's why I honestly believe his eyes on the prize of beat Chisora. I mean, beat Atoma. There'll be, and Turkey will take that fight. Trilogy. These two always put on a great show. It's more exciting than Parker versus
anybody.
Yeah, it's like we know how these two are when they get together. It's always fireworks, and one of these two could potentially win their world title.
That's okay. So let's pivot our analysis to Atoma now.
Okay, cool.
So he's taken the big jump in his career.